Welcome back. Well, every dieter has heard the same thing. Eat less and move more to lose weight. But a new study says that may not be what's best. What matters more is what we eat and not how much. Local dietitian Elizabeth Vander Lean with Abbott Northwestern is here with more on that. Elizabeth, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you.
So what exactly did this study find and how did it work exactly? This was kind of interesting in a long-term study.
Right. So this is the kind of study that dietitians love. Talks about eating whole foods. That's what they instructed two groups to do. One group was to follow a low-fat diet. One group was to follow a low carbohydrate diet, and those were actually folks that were insulin sensitive as well. And they wanted to see if both groups eating whole food, who would lose the most weight. And what they did find was there really wasn't a difference, and both groups lost weight. Both groups lost, I think, over 15 pounds on average. Some lost as much as 40 pounds, depending on the person.
So how about that? Yeah. Pretty surprising. So let's talk about some of these foods. These are the kind of foods we should be eating, right, Elizabeth?
Right.
And why is that?
We really should be eating closer to nature. It's full of nutrition, it's full of fiber that makes us feel more satisfied. That's why in this study, these groups really didn't look at calories so much. It was more home-cooked meals, making your own food, eating things that are just the closest to nature that you can, things that aren't processed in a box.
And so is that the recommendation here, that we can throw calorie counting out the window, in your opinion, or?
I think as far as health, nutrition, and weight, I don't think we can ever throw all caution to the wind, right? I think in general, though, right, I know. That's what I thought, too. But I think if we're eating more on this side of the counter here versus the sugars, processed white grains, we'll have a better shot at both.
So when we're looking at this food, are we trying to get something from each section here in the course of a day, or what does a good dinner plate or plate look like in the course of a day for us, Elizabeth?
We always talk about balanced meals, so I would say you need some protein, which is meat, fish. The salmon is a great option, healthy fats. Eggs, dairy, soy, nuts, beans. Also having half your plate be fruits and vegetables is always the goal. And if we are choosing grains at the meal, have them be whole grains.
And what about for those who are looking to cut out sugar? Because I think a lot of us always think about this, but where is an easy place to start that process?
I think a fair amount of people do beverages that have sugar. A lot of the coffee shops sell a lot of things that are probably several cans of soda equivalent in them. I also think even things like condiments, all of it can just add up.
So even cutting out a bit of sugar in the course of a day will make a difference in the long run.
Yes, and it's kind of nice. Coming soon, it was supposed to be this year, but it got a little bit delayed. The label is going to have added sugar, which I think is important. So that way you can distinguish what's natural from fruit and dairy and what the food companies are adding.
Okay. So. A lot of good information, a lot to think about here. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate you being here tonight.